It was one of those nights that buzzed with electric tension long before the lights even dimmed. The crowd, a blend of martial arts purists and hardcore wrestling fans, packed the arena shoulder to shoulder. They weren't just here for a fight, they were here for a collision of worlds. On one side of the ring stood Jet Li, the living embodiment of speed, grace, and Eastern martial discipline. His expression was unreadable, calm, like a mountain unmoved by the storm. Every twitch of his fingers, every controlled breath, was a testament to decades of mastery in Wushu and Shaolin Kung Fu. The man had fought armies on screen, and often looked like he could do it in real life too. Opposite him, Stone Cold Steve Austin stomped into the ring with all the swagger of a Texas rattlesnake ready to strike. Denim, leather vest, bald head gleaming under the lights, he carried an aura of pure raw aggression. Years in the ring had carved him into a brawler of the highest order, tough as a rusted nail and twice as hard to bend. This wasn't going to be a typical fight. This was going to be something else entirely. The bell rang, and just like that, it began. Stone Cold came out swinging, fast and heavy, leading with brute force. His strength was his hammer, and he intended to break down Jet Li's finesse with it. That was always Austin's edge, sheer physical power and an iron will. He could take a hit, eat pain for breakfast, and still keep swinging. But Jet Li? Jet Li moved like smoke. He ducked, weaved, spun. His body didn't resist the blows, it simply wasn't there to be hit. Years of cinematic choreography and real-life discipline gave him a unique edge, control. He could place a strike with surgical precision, and land 5 before most people blinked. Jet landed early shots, light, fast, probing jabs to the ribs, knees, and wrists. He danced around Austin, measuring the giant, trying to find the rhythm. But Stone Cold wasn't about rhythm. He was chaos in denim. And when he did land, it was felt. A shoulder charge slammed Jet Li to the mat like a freight train. The crowd roared. Austin mounted, swinging fists like pistons, snarling like a man who'd been through hell and learned to enjoy the heat. Austin's strength was also his curse. He wasn't built for speed, and more importantly, he wasn't built for precision. His hits were thunderous, but predictable. Every missed punch tired him. Every dodge from Jet added to the frustration. Jet's weakness? Durability. He wasn't made to take a beating like Austin. One wrong step, one moment too slow, and Stone Cold could take his head off. Every time he tried to close in, the risk was colossal. Midway through the fight, Austin caught Jet with a staggering clothesline. Jet flew, crashed, rolled, and didn't get up right away. The crowd leaned forward, unsure. Was the dragon down? But Jet rose. Slowly, with intent. And that's when the tide turned. Jet began to shift tactics. No longer just dodging, he started to lead. He baited Austin with quick steps and feint punches, letting the brawler waste energy. Then he punished him with clean strikes, elbow to the jaw, knee to the liver, a sweep that brought the rattlesnake to one knee. Austin growled, bleeding from the lip, but still swinging. Jet's strikes weren't meant to knock him out cold, they were designed to dismantle. And slowly, they did. A bruised rib, a strained shoulder, a knee that no longer pivoted quite right. Austin's hits grew slower, wider, desperate. In the final minute, Stone Cold lunged forward, grabbing Jet by the waist, aiming for a spine-crushing suplex. But Jet twisted midair, slipping out like water. As he landed, he spun and drove a palm strike straight into Austin's solar plexus, dropping him to his knees. Jet didn't finish with a dramatic kick or a cinematic flourish. He simply walked behind the giant Texan, whispered something no one could hear, and placed 2 fingers behind his neck, pressing into a pressure point with enough force to stun. Austin collapsed forward, not unconscious, but done. The bell rang. Silence swept the arena for a heartbeat. Then, an eruption. Jet Li stood over Stone Cold, not arrogantly, but respectfully. He bowed slightly before turning to the crowd. Stone Cold sat up moments later, blinking like he'd just come out of a storm. Then he did something no one expected. He reached out and shook Jet's hand. It wasn't a squash match. It wasn't a blowout. It was a battle, one of grit against grace, power versus precision. Jet Li won not because he was faster or smarter, though he was both, but because he adapted. He understood the rhythm of chaos and found stillness within it. Where Austin came to brawl, Jet came to outthink, outmove, and outlast. The fight was over, but what it left behind was more than a winner. It was a story told in bruises and breath, in sweat and silence. And that story? It belonged to Jet Li.